without Dave?
Did you want us to start without
Please
this?
start too.
Okay.
Okay.
They'll never use it.
So you guys purchased the Tenant IMop. It's a small micro auto scrubber used to essentially replace your mop and bucket, but it is a micro auto scrubber. So we are putting down clean water each time, agitating it with a brush. It has a 18-inch cleaning pad with 2 9-inch brushes, and then we're sucking the water up.
Are those bristles hard or?
They're medium bristle bristles. We can go harder, we can go softer, and you can also get pad drivers for it. The medium tends to work best for the largest array of different surfaces.
Are these okay on terrazzo?
These will be okay on terrazzo. Yep.
And vinyl, and rubber,
Okay.
and and those,
Yep.
and your tie, and your
Is there
tie.
pressure adjusted?
No, it's just the weight of the machine. All right, so it's lithium-ion battery, so it's a little bit different than some of the better technology in the past. So 2 lithium-ion batteries, 1 on each side. And if you squeeze these 2 little clips here, you can remove the battery from the side of the machine. On your charger, it's going to look identical to the machine. It's going to slide right onto the charger. On the charger, you have an on-off button, and there's also an indicator for the percentage of the battery. So it'll range anywhere from 0 to 100% when the batteries are full. These batteries will charge 60 minutes charge time. Will give you 60 minutes runtime. So you can quick charge them. The nice part about lithium-ion batteries is there's no memory, so you can take it off of the charger anytime. You can put it on the charger anytime, so you can opportunity charge these. So if you need to throw on the charger for 20 minutes because you're going on break, you can throw on the charger. You don't have to worry about short cycle the battery.
So do these come with 4 batteries?
2 batteries.
They can purchase 2 more if they want. So if you like the unit and you need more time, you can
So
talk
if you get an hour for an hour, then you can slip one on and
You could
charge. and then-
continuously run them. Yep.
Right, exactly.
And now with the full charge of 2.5 hours, you'll get 70 minutes runtime. So that extra hour and a half of charging time is giving you 10 minutes more of runtime. So when these batteries are fully charged, you will get 70 minutes of runtime. If you need more than that, you can get another set, but you can get a lot of square footage done in that 70 minutes. So I would suggest just trying the machine first and see how much time you need it for.
Important point with the batteries. You
Yep.
cannot leave the batteries on the machine when it's not
When
running.
it's in
Explain.
storage. So, because what can happen, lithium-ion batteries, once they get below a certain voltage, essentially the machine can have a draw on the batteries, and if it drops below a certain voltage, the charger won't register the batteries, and we won't be able to charge the batteries. So when you're not using the machine, just take the batteries and always put them on the charger.
Well, if you run it dead,
The machine it will shut off before the batteries reach that level, so you'll never get that low from running it. But if it sat on the machine for 2 months and they weren't being used, it could slowly discharge the batteries.
So anytime it sits, just put it on a charger.
Just put it in the charger.
Absolutely,
Yep.
you've got to do that because if that happens, we have no recourse to get you the batteries for free.
So even if you're running it for
Best
5
prac-
minutes, just pull it out.
Best
put it back
practice,
on.
put them on the charger.
Well, what's the price for 2 more batteries?
It's like $800 for the set of batteries. They're expensive.
So it's almost as cheap to buy a brand new machine.
No.
I said almost.
no, that was,
Yeah.
that was the vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they able to get the chargers now? I heard they had a problem with the chips for the chargers.
We haven't had an issue with these yet. Other machines, we've seen it, but I think that Tenet has a large inventory, so they probably haven't gone through them yet. But we've been good with the IMops, fingers crossed. All right, so lithium-ion batteries, that's first. To put these on, like I said, blue is only going to be able to slide onto the blue side. The other side is gray. Let me take that one off. It's only gonna.
Oh, it's left and right?
It's left and right. So the gray, this has gray tabs, and the indicator or the little tab for that is gray. So you can't put the gray on.
It won't
the blue
slide
side.
on anyway.
It won't slide on exactly. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so the brushes, to take the brushes on and off, it has like a 3 little tabs on the center of it that look like very similar to like your string machine. So these just lock on to the center of the hub. To turn the brush on, we're gonna put it onto the housing and turn it towards the inside of the machine. To take the brushes off, we're just gonna turn it towards the outside of the machine, and we can take the brush on and off. There is a wear indicator on the brush, so you see that little orange bristle. Once the bristle reaches that orange indicator, it's time to replace the brushes. I can't tell you how long they'll last because every single substrate, is different, and some of them wear the brushes down faster.
Different surfaces too, right?
Yeah, I mean, typically most of our customers, they're not, it's not something you're going to be replacing in a few months. You probably get a year or two out of them, if you're using it on a regular basis.
It's not like an E on a gas can.
Yeah, thanks. Jeff.
And what about the squeegees?
Yep, so the squeegee blades, to take the blade on and off, you want to use your thumbs and you want to press against it. And you'll see there's little rubber grommets inside of here, and there's 2 stainless steel posts. So these, to put this on, it's actually just sliding over top of those posts. If you put some pressure on it, you'll feel it go right over top of it and lock on.
Is it an idea to put any like grease or anything on there?
No, you don't have
You
to.
know, after a while, the rubber will get hard and it'll be hard to get on and off.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because grease sometimes attracts like hair and other residue, and it might. They need to float freely on those posts.
Okay.
If not,
Are those
they'll start to leave water.
rubber things changeable or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But you do want to keep your posts clean. on
Keep
that.
those clean.
Keep
hair
those,
and light and stuff out
keep
there.
those clean.
So as same as your auto scrubber, as this glides across the floor, the inner part of your squeegee blade here will start to wear. Once it wears halfway through the thickness of this blade, we want to flip it around and use the other side, which is the other sharp angle. Once we wear both of these sides completely down, we want to flip the squeegee over, and we have 2 more sharp sides. So we get 4 sides to the blade. To do so, you have these black wing nuts here, and if you loosen all 8 of these wing nuts, it has a stainless steel bolt that just goes through the center of the squeegee blade, and you can just push those through, pull those out, put the blade, and then you'll just put it back on, and thread it back on. Don't over tighten them, just hand tighten them. There's no need for any tools or anything to hold them.
You want to clean your squeegee blade nightly when you're done with your shift or whatever. And when you're doing that, that's when you want to clean the posts also.
Yeah, wipe it down, get a microfiber, put it in your slop sink if you can. The last thing you want to do is have some type of debris, dry and harden and block your suction so that the machine can't perform right. So, like Jeff said, when you're done using the machine, it's very critical to just keep these components clean so that it performs 100%. Okay, to put this vacuum hose on, just kind of push and turn, and you'll see that locks on. And like I said, just press forward those tabs there. That locks on. Solution tank. So we have a 1 gallon solution tank. We filled it up with just water. You can see we have water in here. We just loosen the cap, put the product in here, and we filled it up. I will tell you that if you're using a conventional mop system right now, I would suggest just using water for the first few times using it. When you're using a mop and bucket, no matter if it's Jeff's neutral floor cleaner or a competitor's, it does leave some residual on the floor. So we want to get as much of that chemical residual off the floor as we can, because that's what attracts dirt, that's what spreads on the floor. So I suggest just using water maybe for the next few weeks if you guys are using it, just to get that up. One thing to keep in mind is this unit is very maneuverable, and with that being said, we're kind of tipping and moving the machine to get around obstacles. So it's very critical that we keep an eye on how much foam we have in the recovery tank, because as the water gets sloshing around, if we have excessive foam, we can suck it through the back motor, and over time it will start to damage the vacuum motor. So this is your recovery tank. This is where all the dirty water goes. Once this 1 gallon tank is empty, you'll see there's a max fill line on this recovery tank. Once this tank is empty, it'll be up to the max fill line. We want to empty this at the same time. Do not fill the solution tank up without emptying this, because you'll overfill this and will suck the water through the vacuum motor and make it damage. It does have a little ping pong ball that's designed to float like your shop vac. So as the tank fills up, it's supposed to float and then shut off your suction. But that ping pong ball doesn't float with foam. It's designed to float with water. But if you have excessive foam, you're going to end up sucking it right through there. Just like your carpet extractors, just like your wet dry vacs. If you do have a chemical that does foam, you want to use a defoamer. So a few capfuls, put it right in the recovery tank before you start using the machine. to contain that foam.
Do you guys have defoamer? Okay, good. Because I strongly, especially when you're first starting to use this,
Yeah.
like on rubber floors like Dan was talking about, you're gonna get a lot of foam. There's a lot of residue that's on that
I think
floor.
it only recommends when we have a good capital.
Yeah, that's all you need, but make sure that you do that, because that's the one thing we don't want the motor to be
You shouldn't
damaged.
be using the capsule for that one, though, right?
Yeah,
For
you
a
can use
can.
a cup, half a capful, just a little bit.
Just enough to contain. Just when you're emptying the machine, if you see foam in the tank, then we just need to add a little bit more. But it doesn't take a lot of defoamer to go a long way. So
And put the defoamer in first before you put,
And probably, as we use this, we'll probably have to use less defoamer. Because
Yes.
most of the old residual.
exactly, that's it. You're right.
Yep.
Is that magnetic?
It is.
Yeah, I saw it. Not bad.
Yep.
While he's doing that, we sold a lot of these over the last 3 years. I mean, a lot. And
We've been
the,
waiting 2 years to get ours.
the customers that maintain, you guys do a great job of maintaining your equipment, so I'm preaching to the choir here. But I do want to make the point that my customers that maintain this unit and follow the maintenance procedures that we're talking about love it. The ones that do not maintain their units, they have constant problems. I'm gonna be straight up front with you. We're gonna show you some weak points on the unit, but if you maintain it, you use your defoamer, you do the other things, you keep your squeegees clean, you're gonna love it. And it's gonna save you time every single day, and it's gonna really do a great job of cleaning your floors for you versus a mop bucket and water. All right, so I just wanted to.
Yeah. No, that's spot on. This machine right here weighs about 57 pounds with the water in it. So the actual down pressure of this machine is the same as like your 20-inch walk behind you have now. So we're able to take a compact scrubber like this and deep clean restrooms and really get a lot of dirt out. You'll see when we run it with a small compact machine. So yeah, Jeff said the customers that use it and take care of it really love it. It performs very, very amazing. So
You could use that in a bathroom?
Yep.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We'll run right in the restroom. I'll show you guys how to do a double scrub and show you the different functions with this. So, one of the I'll call it weak points of the machine, and one of the things that you guys need to focus on when you're running it is, so this is the operating position. We put the scrub deck down to the floor. Now, if we're not using the machine, we never want to take the handle and rest it up against the wall, and let this sit against something, because someone's going to knock it over, and everything hinges on the bottom of that swivel down there. That's why the machine is so maneuverable. That's why the machine performs so well. But that is a critical area that it can break if you drop it. So if you're not using the machine, just grab this handle right here. It's magnetic, and put it in the upright position so it doesn't fall over. Also, when you're putting the scrub deck down, you need to bend over and gently pull this down to the floor. It's not an upright vacuum where you can take this and kick it and let that slam onto the floor. So just gently ease the scrub deck down into the floor when you're running it. Okay? All right.
Besides water, can we eventually use top cleaner and all that?
So you can use
Or whatever you got up?
whichever chemical you want besides like a stripper. Just keep in mind that degreasers and peroxide based chemicals tend to foam a lot. So just going back to where we started, keep an eye on the recovery tank. If you have a lot of foam, you can certainly use those chemicals, but you may need to use defoamer.
So your standard neutral floor cleaner is fine. Some of you have degreaser, that's fine, but then make sure that you do put a defoamer in your recovery tank.
Yep.
Stay away from stripper. This is not a machine that is used for stripping by no stretch of the imagination.
So with the amount of bathrooms we have here, they may not be able to use it every night. So maybe once a week, they'll have an opportunity to use it. So when they do use it, probably just plain water, because they're gonna get that residual off from the week.
That's the biggest thing, guys, that this does, that we found that customers have used it successfully, not only in bathrooms, but on rubber floors, because rubber floors absorb that chemical. Flooring outside of your terrazzo, which is a very hard floor, floors that suck in the chemical, if you use this with water, like he said, you're gonna get rid of that residue, and that residue is what attracts dirt more than anything else. So I agree with Dave. 9 times out of 10, I think you're going to go a long way with just using water. And you'll see. We'll show you right in here now. with a floor with just water, what you're gonna get out.
I mean, was it 2 years ago you came over and demoed this, 2 or 3? And we just got done
Over in
doing
that
summer
bathroom.
cleaning on it, and you guys picked up a lot of dirt.
Right.
Even after we did our summer cleaning.
Right, right.
That line lasted for quite a long time.
But that's a good question, but I think definitely starting off, just go with water for now. And see what you recover. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, you're good. So the dashboard is right here. We have a dial that adjusts the functions. Is everyone here familiar with a double scrub? With the terminology double scrub? What it is where you apply the chemical and use the machine to agitate the floor, but we don't pick that chemical up right away. We want to give it some contact time on the floor. So this machine has the capability of turning the vacuum off. So if we wanted to do a restorative clean where we're just scrubbing the floor, we have the function of running just the brush in the water. We also have the capability, you'll see there's some pictures here. So there's brush and water, that's where we're doing a double scrub. If we already have the water, the chemical down, we want to just continuously scrub. The next function is just brush. We can just run the machine and just scrub away. The next function is brush and vacuum. So let's just say we have enough product down, and now we want to pick it up. We have the brushes will always be on because that's how the machine maneuvers. But we will be sucking that product up off the floor.
And you can do your double scrub and all the functions that he's talking about with just plain water. Like we'll do a double scrub right here with just water, and you'll see how much we're able to get out.
Yep. And the last function is just your daily cleaning function where your brush, water, and vacuum are all on simultaneously. So the machine, you'll be walking behind it, it'll be scrubbing, putting on the water, and sucking it up all at one time. That's more of your daily cleaning routine. So if you want to get in and out of a restroom quick, just clean the surface. Once we get past that restorative phase, everything will be on. We can get in and out very quickly. So I'll show you each one of those functions here as we run it in the restroom. So the first one I'll do is a double scrub. So I'm just going to drop the scrub deck down.
In fact, Dan,
Yep.
why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you disconnect the squeegee?
Take the squeegee off, okay.
So he's doing a double scrub right here.
Okay, so we
So
can
what
take.
he's gonna do is he's disconnecting the squeegee.
So
You
we're
don't need to, if you don't want to, but we think it performs better.
It does perform better, and the one thing is,
Well, we're gonna put the squeegee back
I
on.
will suck it up after. But
And-
he wants to show you,
This is a double scrub.
this is without sucking it up.
this is without sucking up. The one thing, because what Jeff is actually hinting is that with the squeegee on the machine, we only can pull the machine in reverse. Now that we have the squeegee off the unit, we can apply the chemical and go in whichever direction. The reason being is if that squeegee's on, it's gonna squeegee the water with the
Yeah.
machine.
Take a little bit to get the water flowing with it, since it's brand new.
Okay, so we got water. Chemical right there, right for the soap.
Here's your foam that we're talking about. That's just chemical residue. That's why
Yeah, that's all, that's the dried up, soap and stuff. So the one we have, we use the soap, the dried up
And there's nothing wrong with the way you've been cleaning the floor. Liz and I were just saying how clean this floor looks. It's just the nature of the beast. When you mop, you're not picking up.
Right.
You know, you can't. Show them how close to the edge they can get.
Yep, so we can get up right.
So that's what I said, we won't be able to do it every night.
A lot of soap right there, probably from that.
Yeah, there's soap from the hand soap dispenser.
Okay. So we could do that into the entire restroom. We're just putting water down. We're loosening up the soil, and now we can suck all this up and pick it up.
So, this machine, still, even though it's not a big machine, it's very expensive.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it's not like we can go just replace another one tomorrow. But we'll advocate for another one because of the size of our school.
Okay. So now we're going to put the machine on brush and vacuum. We're not going to put that on any more product because we have enough down. So I'm just going to engage either one of these triggers here, and we're going to start sucking up the water that's on the floor. if we want to use the machine just as an auto scrubber, now we have it on brush, water, and vacuum. And if we walk behind it, it's putting down water right now. If you look, it's got water going down. But if we just walk behind it, we're just using it as an auto scrubber. If you're using it regularly, you won't have to do